You'll see when we're live.
We are.
We are live?
I told you. She said go live. I hit the live button.
No, I said let us know. Jackass.
Neil.
Yes.
Look at the camera.
Oh. That's fucking gorgeous.
I've been saving this for so long, waiting for you and I to be on the stream together again. And I thought the very first time that's going to happen, I'm going to do a tribute.
That's awesome, dude. Holy shit! That's not your real hair, is it?
Nope.
Did you go and kill a horse and steal its tail?
No, there's someone sitting behind me lending me her hair. No.
I feel like I'm not alone.
This is so old. This belonged to one of my exes who didn't have enough hair and thought she'd buy something to add to it. So I still have this.
That's a really bad wig, though. She got ripped off in the hair shop.
It's been hanging somewhere in a closet for, I think, more than 2 decades now. So I probably didn't go down well. I did brush it a little. I mean,
isn't it great when you could take your hair off and brush it?
Yes, it's a lot easier and it doesn't sting as much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can't do. I'm not allowed to brush the daughter's hair at all. Daddy pulls my hair. Fuck off! Just brushing your hair.
That is just jealous that he doesn't got any. So
Spooky says so. Not real hair, just like Neil's. That's right. I buy the bandanas with the hair.
How long have you been growing your hair, Neil? Or is it all? Well, not all your life, obviously, but a long time, clearly.
Yeah, I've had hair like this. Probably for. Since the 80s, I've always had my hair long, and I've shaved it off twice and donated it to cancer for wigs and stuff like that. So, and then I haven't done that in quite some time, probably since the mid-90s is the last time I did that. And it takes about 5 years to get to a length like this.
Yeah.
So, but you reach a certain age and eventually your hair stops actually growing. It just starts growing into the split ends. So I really I have to go to a hairdresser or something and get it snipped so that the ends are gone and it'll continue to grow out too. Because Arn was saying that he hates me because my hair is better than his. So
yeah, that's when I told him that I was the president of your hair's fan club. So.
That's right.
It is true. You know it.
It is a marvelous effort.
I put my hair up because I can't, compete with yours. So my hair is really long too, but it's not anywhere near as glorious as yours.
Well, that's why I wear the bandana. It keeps it out of my face.
But you're not balding though. You had the bandana off there a couple of weeks ago. I seen it, and you're not balding or anything. Your hair is quite luscious.
Well, it's pretty gray too, if you think about it. Like if you see that picture I just posted, it looks really gray in that picture.
Yeah, the picture you sent me while you were waiting, it was like, I'm waiting in the back room. I was like, oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, with the big look on my face.
Yeah.
No, I think you're lucky though because a lot of people right now are having to cut their own hair. I have a certain friend of mine that fucked up his head pretty bad this morning, so I won't say who it is, but if you guys watched his stream, it was jarring.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I did wonder. I've got to say.
Yeah, and then he shaved his beard too, which makes it even weirder. So
yeah, it just looks baby-faced now. I don't know if you've seen the Atheist pastor, but he had hair and a beard and then messed up his hair.
I specifically didn't say his name for a reason.
This is the problem with a really shitty memory. I couldn't remember if he looked that bad yesterday. So I wouldn't have said anything.
I would just like to point out, Doorknobhead in the chat said something. Peter, you should change the last part of your name to agnostic. It should be the 302 agnostic, technically, if you're going half of an atheist.
Yeah. So
Susan in the chat says she wants a Neil wig.
I think we all do.
Aren't we on a scale of being atheist then? I mean, Neil, or are we counted in numbers? So 604, you were the 604th atheist?
No. The 604 is a reference to the area code where I live. It's the original area code for the Vancouver and Lower Mainland.
I think claiming you're the 604th atheist ever is much better claim to fame.
That's a great claim, but one that's hard to support.
Well, yeah, because I would literally be thousands of years old if that was the case.
Well, not the new atheist.
See, I'm getting the hang of area codes. Like 405 is what's Oklahoma, isn't it? 405, pretty sure.
What? Atlanta? No.
Oklahoma, 405.
Oh, Atlanta. No.
Spooky wants me to take off the bandana.
Wants to see if I'm right about the no ball spot.
Well, I can show you. Hang on. Should we like put stripper music on or anything? Or?
There's music actually playing in the background, but that is very.
It's so gorgeous. Oh, I'm so fucking jealous of you. So jealous. It's not fair.
There you go. See, I'm not. Well, I might be. I'm sure at some point. I've seen all the men in my mom's side of the family, my birth family, and they all still have their hair. So. I think I'm pretty lucky. So
you were very lucky.
Definitely,
very, very lucky.
It looks like a woman has looked after it your entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. My hairdresser. I've had the same hairdresser for years, so she knows what I like. She wants to keep dyeing my hair. I'm like, no, I don't care about the color anymore. Just keep it looking good. But it's been about 4 years since I've had an actual haircut, so I should probably get on that. Oh, someone says I could play God. Oh, it was Donna. We have two Donnas. Uh-oh.
When I had long hair, I had it down to about my weight, nearly my waist, and I didn't tell anyone. And I walked in and got my head shaved.
I think that's pictures that we all want to see, Dave. That'll be a conversation for tomorrow. We're all going to want to see them pictures.
And I came back one day completely, and my girlfriend at the time obviously didn't recognise me.
So why am I the only one that's full screen?
Because of your hair.
Spooky's like, put the bandana back on. I look like this chick from The Grudge.
Did that work?
Well, now it's normal again. So
it never changed. All it did on stream was make me fuck up and show my OBS, and then back to you again. It didn't work. I hit the wrong button. I'm blaming Dave for that.
I very much miss my long hair.
I don't mind it anymore.
More to the point, I should just say I miss my hair full stop.
The being bald is a hell of a lot handier.
Maybe.
I think in MathPig's case, it just shifted position.
Yeah, shifted, moved down. The beard got bigger when the bald head vanished. You need something to compensate with.
Yeah, that is kind of true for me too.
So
my beard
Neil,
is looking a bit scraggly at the moment, though.
Neil, what's it like where you are with Corona? Are you locked away like everyone else?
We any place where people can gather, like pubs or like coliseums, like for hockey games, everything's shut down. You can't go to restaurants. The only thing you can really do here is like drive-throughs, stuff like that. You can still go to like Walmart and get groceries, but it's funny because you walk into Walmart, and I had to go and get some new razors because I was out. That's why I hadn't shaved for 2 weeks, because I just didn't have any razors, and I never got the chance to stop and get them. But I finally did. And the girl's like, I'm like, because they're locked in a case because they're really expensive razors, right? Or the heads that you reload. And she goes, okay, just stand over there and point which ones you want. I'm like, okay. row 3, first one in. She's like, this one? I'm like, no, right beside it. Oh, that one. So she's like 9 feet away from me, and she's opening the door. She's like, and then she backs away. She goes, okay, you can go in there and grab it. So I'm going there and grab it. This is kind of bizarre the way things are now, but fully expected.
Yeah, I just went, I ran out to the pharmacy, and my car's in the shop, so I had to Uber there. And I decided to go get my son some food, and there was nobody out, so I was walking down the main street of my town, and I got there, and I went to go in, and there was I think it was the manager was out smoking in front of the door, and he's like, oh, you can't go in there. And I was like, okay, can I go walk through the drive-through? He's like, I don't think so. And he just took my money and did it. It was weird. It was definitely weird.
Well, this is how things are going to be for a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're get used to a new normal.
Yeah.
It's the only way to do it, though. It has to be starved out because there's no immunization or anything like that we can work with. So it just has to be starved out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not the bubonic plague, which starved itself out by being so efficient it killed everybody, so it didn't have anyone left to infect.
Yeah. Same with the Spanish flu, took like 50 million people with it. So, and of course, that happening during the time of World War I didn't help. So it was being fucking spread all over the place by soldiers and shit.
Yeah, exactly that. That was the problem. That it was at the end of World War One. I mean, so from what I gather, the mortality rate and infection rate of corona is actually quite similar to Spanish flu. It's very similar. But obviously, we've got so much further advanced technology now. We've got so much more better ways of dealing with it. One of the things that my aunt says is that she teaches nurses at university. She's been doing it for years, so she has quite extensive knowledge of medical procedures and the latest innovations and all sorts of stuff. And she said that it's kind of good that it's something that's come along that isn't really all that dangerous, because it does mean that different countries can react in different ways, and we can all work out what actually is best in this situation, so that when inevitably down the line something really, really dangerous rears its head, because it will, hopefully we will learn from this and put procedures in place in future to be able to deal with it better. It's one silver lining.
Well, I think another problem is that we've also got a better means of travel, so that helped it spread a lot faster. People fly all over the globe, so and that didn't happen with the Spanish flu.
That's right.
So, very much.
So,
could you imagine how much worse it would have been, Peter, if that did happen? If they did have that kind of travel?
yeah,
that would be.
I mean, they still had planes, but they weren't going like they do now. So
no.
But there were enough. I mean, the Spanish flu did spread quite far.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They can't even. I don't think they can even really decide on where it came from or started. It's like either it was Kentucky or something, or somewhere in China, or somewhere in like Italy, I think, or somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. But every one of the countries that were involved had it. Spain was the only one willing to report about it.
Right. Which is why they ended up. Was it the King of Spain or something at the time? Is how they ended up naming it the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
So is COVID going to be named the Boris 19 then?
Who knows? Who knows what the future holds, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Neil, okay.
No, go on ahead, Mama. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Neil a question. So my favorite beer is Canadian, and they don't sell it here. I was wondering if you ever had it, Molson Triple X.
Yep, I've had it. Yeah.
Okay, good beer. I used to live in Connecticut, and so sometimes when we were teenagers, we'd take a road trip and go get some good beer and come back. It's good beer, and America has shitty beer, so.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Well, unless you go to the microbreweries, like R and Raw, introduced me to a lot of the microbrewery beer when I was down in Texas last year, and holy shit, man, that stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
there's some really,
we didn't really. The microbreweries weren't really around so much when I was in high school, anyway. So
fair enough. You know,
yeah.
Me either.
I'm a little disappointed, Amanda. You're half Dutch, and your favorite beer is Canadian.
Well, we don't like. Okay, first of all, you don't want me to say Heineken because Heineken is kind of crap.
Heineken is
urine.
Pretty much canal water from Amsterdam. That's not beer.
I've honestly never had any other than Heineken. I've never had a Dutch beer, so I've wanted to.
Grolsch.
Amstel is nice.
You need to get Grolsch.
Okay, yeah.
Is it
Text
Danish?
me and tell me, give me a list, okay? So.
Is that the green can one?
I got an anecdote from when I worked at Grolsch, because that was in my old hometown. And in Holland, the brewers every year have Brewers' Day. So, and they will meet up at one brewery. All the people who own, if it's a private brewery, people who own a brewery will get together. And when it was time for Grolsch to host, the man who pretty much owned it, who was the president or whatever, guy called Andries de Groen. He invited people into my old hometown. Has a pretty cool city center with lots of bars on around the old market place. That's really the old part of town. It's around the church. And they were sitting there, and so there are three big names when it comes to beer in Holland, which is Heineken, Amstel, and Grolsch.
Okay.
And Grolsch is pretty much the underdog. We live in the eastern part of town, the eastern part of the country, so we're pretty much the ignorant farmers, as it's considered by people in the West. And so they were in a place that has a lot of different kinds of beer, and they ordered, and the president of Amstel said, I want a beer, but I want an Amstel beer. And Freddie Heineken said, I want a beer, but I wanted to no. They asked, what do you want to drink? And the guy from Amstel said, I want an Amstel. And then Freddie Heineken was asked, and he said, I'll have a Heineken. And then they asked De Groen, the president of Grolsch, and he said, I'll have a mineral water. and the waiter said, wait a minute, you're the boss of Grolsch and you're having mineral water? And he said, yeah, well, the other ones aren't drinking beer, so I why should I? And that literally happened. It's one of the best things.
We're talking, Dutch liquor, like alcohol. Like I said, I haven't had the beers, but I do occasionally drink Chocovine. I'm not even sure how I feel about it. What about you?
You drink what?
Chocovine, the chocolate wine.
Never had that before.
You've never had? Oh my god! Okay.
Chocolate
And
wine.
I love chocolate. So
we gotta talk.
I need to get that. Yeah, I need to get that.
Yeah, I'm a chocoholic too. This sounds kind of good.
I know they have chocolate beer
bad,
in
but it
Belgium.
is actually really good. I do like it. So.
No.
And I have to admit, I'm not a beer drinker. There's only one kind of beer that I drink, that's Bock beer. That's only available in the fall. It's brewed from the first new harvest. Has a little bit more alcohol, and it's red, and it's really good.
Well, this is actually it's still a wine, but it's brown, almost like a mocha. Like an iced mocha or something. Like it's not dark brown, it's light brown, but it's still a wine. I'm gonna take a picture. I have a bottle downstairs. I'm gonna take a picture. I'll post it later. So
Okay.
you'll see it. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're all right. I don't drink beer at all.
You want to talk about chocolate? This is one of the ones that I really, really like that I can actually get here. It's, mind you, it's not super high in alcohol, but its flavor is awesome, and it's called Longboat Chocolate Porter, and it's fucking awesome.
Oh, that sounds really good.
I have to say they've nice labels. That the actual design of the cans. Everything over here is very plain.
There's some pretty good ones out there, so. But that one happens to be my favorite. I just wish it had a higher ABV. Because, you can only drink so many.
Right?
If you're a beer fan,
Grolsch.
Belgium is the place to go, really.
And it's a
Belgium
good
is
sized bottle too.
And I like that they have those flip-up resealable caps on them too. Those are great.
The old fashioned has a touch to it. I recently moved to a dep when we were cleaning out one of the back storerooms, and I found bottles that must have been in there from the 1940s, the 1950s, buried, covered in dust. Lifted them all and took them home for my dad whenever we're making patching and going to put them all in that. The real old brown glass. God knows how old the bottles are.
I used to do that when I worked at Grolsch. So they get their water from a well in a village that's a couple of miles from the town where the brewery is in, and you can walk all the way underground to the well. And so every once in a while we would get into what we called the catacombs underneath the factory, and you can find, because everyone there is drinking, you can't drink on the job, but everyone's drinking, so you get into the catacombs and you'd find bottles that were from were century old at times, old wooden cases, stuff like that, and I used to collect all of that, but yeah, that was a while ago. I stopped collecting. There was just too much.
My friend Randolph wants to know, who's that 302 atheist guy? that Randolph is Peter from Gonna Go For It, and I'm going to be on his show on Tuesday, actually, at 4 p.m. Pacific time, with my good friend Lilith Liberated, who lives on Vancouver Island, right near me. So,
yeah, I've had Lilith on. She's a powerhouse.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah. While we're all on lockdown, we might as well be doing this kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't been doing a lot of shows with Atheist, even though we have a particular show just for that. But when you contacted me, I thought that was a really good reason to revive the show.
The Herding Cats.
The Herding Cats.
Yeah, you've had some great episodes of that too. So I'm proud to be a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, so the last guest we had on was PZ Myers, and I misspelled his name. and he didn't tell me until the end of the show that I had misspelled it in the lower third.
Oh, geez.
It was correct everywhere else except in the lower third. That was in your face the entire show.
I did that the other day for Mama's show. I misspelled Brojack Horseman, or Bojack. I spelled it Brojack.
I didn't even notice it because you put it in my thumbnail, so whatever.
Yeah, it was right in the thumbbell, but the actual name.
No, it wasn't. It says Brojack
was
in
it
the
wrong too?
thumbnail.
Fuck's sake. I can't spell.
Oh no! Continue arguing. This is great.
It's not an argument. I don't care. It's fine.
I'm not English Pig. That's what I always say. Not English Pig.
No, I mean, you've never heard of the show. It's fine. I don't care. It's a fun show, though. Oh, actually, Neil, I don't think I ever talked to you about this. I do a show on the weekends where I have someone come on and we just talk about a TV show. If you ever have one that you can think of, and please come on.
A TV show?
A lot of fun. Yeah, we just spend some time. We've only done two. We started with Buffy and Angel with Jay from Nevermore, and then I did BoJack this weekend with Sam. And then next weekend, me and Sal Ease are doing Sopranos. So.
Sopranos. Never did watch that one.
Oh, it's so good. So good. But you the guest picks the show and then you just chat about it. It's fun.
The guest picks the show.
Good show.
Then if she hasn't watched the show, she'll not let you use it though.
No, I mean I'm just not ready to do it yet. I want to talk about shows that I know right now. So but I know a lot. I'm like an insomniac, and so at nights I work a little and I watch a lot of TV. So I know a lot of shows.
I don't really watch TV anymore unless it's a hockey game or a football.
It can be something old. It doesn't have to be anything new. Something you grew up with or whatever. Just if you want to, if you don't, that's fine. I'm suffering because it's fun. That's all.
Well, I mean, you're going to be on my show too, so.
Yeah.
On April
Earth Day, so.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. You asked me a while ago, and I wasn't sure because I mean they're deconversion shows, and while I did grow up in the Catholic Church, I never really believed. But there is a story there which I've told. But I mean, and plus it's you, and So yeah, I'll be on.
It's a good story. It makes her nervous when she tells it. She gets all edgy and everything. Yeah, it's a good story.
She's already turning red.
I
Exactly.
don't like talking about myself. It's so sad.
Hold on, where's that full screen button?
That's all right. That's all right.
No. No, I'm good.
Have you done a deconversion? Did you get Peter on and do his? I've never seen Peter's now. Probably. Did you ever?
For there to be able to talk about a deconversion story, there has to be one.
That's right.
But there he had Jim Hall on today.
In my case, there isn't.
He had Jim Hall on yesterday.
Yeah, I did. And he was a cradle atheist as well. I could still have you on, Peter, and we could talk about, how religion tried to influence our lives. We could do stuff like that if you like.
Aren't I supposed to be on somewhere in May?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did do that. That's right.
See?
Yeah, actually, that's right. Peter's going to be on May 11th. That's right.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, you're literally like the second person I had in May, because the first one was Damien Athope, who works with, who does the morning atheist show or daily atheist show with Chris Mallard there from time to time, and then Susan, who's in the chat, is on May the 6th, and I need somebody for tomorrow, because the person I had scheduled,
and I'll be older when I'm on.
Oh yeah, why? Was your birthday coming up?
In May.
Oh, like what?
May 1st.
Oh, I'll have to bombard your timeline with some happy birthday pictures then. I'll find some really good ones.
Okay.
What age will you be, Peter?
What do you say?
Uh-oh.
Birthday pictures.
What? How old? I think you.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 58.
Ooh. He's a little on me. I'm 53.
I
so.
still look young, though.
I know.
Due to my hair.
It's the lovely locks of brown hair that are flowing from up top your crown.
Yeah, so I could wear the T-shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm not like most teens. I'm in my 50s.
Yeah. I act the part, though.
It's about staying young.
Given the chance, all of the time.
I think, all right, so it's your birthday May 1st. That's enough time, I think. I'll order one and send it to you, Peter. Because that'll be a birthday present from me to you.
I appreciate that. That would be great.
Just make sure we don't wear it at the same time on the show.
This is the only thing he wears.
That would be funny.
No,
that would be somewhat amusing.
I'll come on as myself, not as a copy.
That's probably a good idea.
It's hard to act to follow anyway. So
well, we don't want people getting confused, Peter. Because it's the same.
See, that won't happen. As soon as I open my mouth and start saying things, there's no confusion anymore. I just don't have hashtag Y302 and what did I say? I'm half the size and half the intelligence, so that's 302.
302. Oh, now I didn't even realize that it was literally half of what I. Oh my god. Yeah. You said I was intelligent. You might want to take that back.
We have a saying, and I have no clue how to translate this for the Dutch people listening. Zelfkennis siert de mens. Knowing yourself makes you look good. I don't know how to translate that exactly.
That's a new one on me.
So I know myself. I also know my limits when it comes to intelligence. I'm not the smartest guy on the block.
Yeah, me either.
And I never pretend to be.
Exactly.
Know who you are and be comfortable in that, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being aware of your limits.
I'm quite comfortable being me, so I've got nothing to hide. And you want to know about me, I'll tell you even some of my most embarrassing moments if you want. I don't care.
Okay, will you
I think
that's
one of
the most
tell us any of your most
important part
embarrassing
is
moments?
that you're still willing to learn. That's a
always.
lot more important than being especially bright, I think. If you're still willing to learn, if you're still open for new things, for science, stuff like that, that's important.
I know my way around a chemistry lab because I'm a chemist by trade. So, but I'm always learning new things, and I'm always reading new peer-reviewed stuff that comes in through because we get sent all kinds of shit all the time, especially to do with environmental factors. So I read up on all that stuff all the time, and it pisses me off when I hear people denying that climate change is a thing. I'm like, you have no fucking idea how bad it's going to get in a few years. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Hi, Neil. Have we met?
That reminds me, you should have Doc Savage on.
Docs, I've thought about that too. To do something, I may. I love doing the deconversion stories, and that's going to be my main focus, of course. But I will also have, I think, some other streams coming up, and I may tackle stuff like that with Godless Mom, with Courtney. Like we'll have people. She wants to do interviews with theists, and I think we'll be able to also incorporate people in the sciences too when we come up against science denial type issues. And I think that would be another important topic to talk about.
Yeah, I think Doc Savage would be a good guest, and I think you two would get along.
Probably. I love what he tweets all the time. We follow each other, so he's a good guy, definitely.
Yeah,
Bill,
yeah. I'm a little bit chuffed that the show that he did with Mel has ended. That was my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, they did a lot of really cool shit on that show.
Yeah,
it can be difficult.
And I got to contribute just a tiny bit. I had Aaron Ra watch himself in the Oval Office with Trump interrupting. That was great.
It can be difficult sometimes to get theists on, though. That's one thing that I'm finding difficult, and I know that Peter has had that problem as well. Once you get to a point, certain theists, if they disagree with you so much to a point, they just stop, coming on. It can be very difficult to get them to come on.
Yeah, the problem is if you have a dumpster fire, then everyone who wants to come on suddenly backs off because now you're toxic. Now you're going after people. Recently, I had a really good talk with Craig Reed.
He's a good guy, actually. I like Craig.
We were in a terrible fight on Twitter when
were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad I missed that.
He was one of the first guests to come on my channel, and then he told me in 3 years I am going to be able to physically produce the Holy Spirit and have everyone see that.
Within 3 years, he's going to be able to produce the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, and I took him on that, and he was really aggressive back then. I was a lot more aggressive, I think, and so that whole thing already didn't go down well. And he cut me off, and he kept saying, "You mark my words." And so, if people tell me that's what I do. So those 3 years would be up in June this year. So earlier this year, I started tweeting, "How's the Holy Spirit coming on? I mean, this is the year. It's just a few more months, and then you're going to produce the Holy Spirit visible for everyone to see, tangible, as you said it." And that, so he backtracked a little on that, and so we got in a terrible fight. And then I said, "Well, you know what? Come on the show and let's have a talk." And that turned out to be one of the best talks that I had on the channel. So
great. That's cool.
I think that helped with a lot of others wanting to come on. Although, yeah,
I've reached out to him as well. He said he would definitely be up for something. We just have to sort a date. It seems like
I talked to Craig as well, and he said he agreed to come on to the show with Godless Mom and I when we get it going. So it should be an interesting chat with him at that point. But that's still a little ways away. And of course, this whole COVID-19 thing has kind of delayed it even further because there's stuff that we still need to do in order to get it going. And of course, I'll have the show with Randolph, who's in the chat right now. Randolph Richardson and I are doing a call-in show, very much like Truth Wanted, Talk Even, that kind of thing. But it'll be True North Talk, so it'll be Canadian version of that sort of thing. And we still got some work to do on setting it up, but of course, this whole thing is going to set that back as well. Nobody foresaw this shit coming, so.
No.
But we're taking our time because we want it to be something worthwhile. So.
Well, that's it.
I mean, there were quite a few scientists that actually did see this coming, and for a long time have been saying this is a problem and it's going to be a problem, and they've been roundly ignored. But anyway, that's my top pence worth.
Right.
We've known, like I said, we don't know if it's directly related to climate change at all. We don't know yet, but we've known, climate scientists have seen something like this coming, and this is just a tiny little, peek into what is coming if we continue in the pattern that we are. So.
Oh yeah. The planet's just going to shake us off like fleas. You know what I mean? The planet itself will be fine. It will continue for billions of years. Yeah. It's just going to shake us off like fleas and gone. I'm done now. Sorry.
Yeah. You had your chance and blew it.
Yeah, between like disease vectors and the weather that's getting worse and the spreading subtropic zones, we are kind of fucked right now. So, just saying.
What worries me is that it's all becoming a political thing, and that's what's at the moment is damaging pretty much the U.S.
Yeah, he came out and said climate change is a Chinese hoax. He totally fucked us so bad.
Yeah, he did.
Ugh.
Yeah, and COVID was a Chinese thing too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
fucking sick of that. They're using it to get rid of the old people because of overpopulation.
Now he's trying to pass the buck and say it's all Obama's fault. It's none of it's his fault.
What he always does.
Everything's Obama's fault. Did you not know that?
I have seen tweets on Twitter, people saying that Trump is the one who had the best measures against COVID-19.
Right.
Most likely because he's the only one.
Right, what was it in fucking January? He was calling it a hoax. So
yeah. He called it a hoax for an entire month before he decided to finally say, "Okay, well, maybe we need to do something about this." And now we're they're considering us like the epicenter of the pandemic because our rate of expansion in the virus is that bad because
you're the world leader now.
Yeah,
you're the world leader.
That's what's being reported in our media at the moment. In our media, it's being reported that you are the epicenter, and we're quite concerned because obviously a lot of our economic situation is between the UK and Britain. A lot of banking systems and stuff are done between our country and yours, and
it's not just your country; it's all of them.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. And it's.
I mean, we got a border with them for fuck's sakes.
That is also true.
It isn't funny, but one of the funniest things that I've seen is that the Mexicans are now closing the border because they don't want America to come in.
They want to build a wall.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, we'll build the wall now.
Yeah.
To keep the fucking
maybe we're going to pay for it after all.
This was his plan all along to make them pay for it.
Yeah.
Real quick,
diabolical.
I'm going to drop and let Sal in for a bit. I'll drop onto the YouTube text chat and let Sal in for a bit.
Appreciate
Bill.
that.
So Neil, yes, if you if you do want somebody tomorrow, if you've got no other option, I'll quite happy come on, no problem.
That'd be fantastic.
Just let me know.
DM me on Twitter. You follow me on Twitter?
I'm on MathPig's Twitter group. You know the Twitter group we all talk via.
Yeah.
I'm in there. Just message me in there. We'll go.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe we could just start our own conversation, so I can drop a link.
Oh,
for
will
you.
that work? Okay, that can work. That'll work. I'll DM you on there then. That'll work.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah, way
Sounds
easier.
good.
All right. I will speak to you guys later.
Thanks again,
All right.
Bill.
Bye.
That'd be cool. Have Bill on tomorrow.
Bill's an interesting story. I've had Bill over. Bill's actually stayed in my house, like. So.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, honey.
Theo, how are you?
There's the artist himself.
Hey guys.
He definitely is. All this artwork that everybody sees on the stream, all the pigsty
Oh, it's
in the back.
fucking phenomenal. Like, I can't believe that you do that shit by hand. Like, the stuff that you turn into really cool shit. It's just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
If you'd have seen the original picture that I sent him, man, Dave has seen the original, although he's probably forgot, but the picture that I sent Sal to come up with the pigsty in space, it took me all of 10 seconds to draw. It's like a square box with rockets up its ass, and he turned it into this.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never seen anything quite like it. So it's pretty cool, unique shit for sure. And MathPig, Randolph wants a join link so he can eventually get in here too.
Yeah, just send it to him, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's like, oh, you've got someone already. Good show.
No, Sal's been working on stuff for me. He did some stuff for my channel now, but I have another channel that I'm working on, and he's been working tirelessly for it. Oh, I am your biggest fan, Sal. You're fucking amazing. I love you. Just saying.
Guys. It's really, really, really my pleasure. Like, I really enjoy doing this.
I know.
Yeah, have you seen, Neil, you probably haven't seen, can you camera Sal and show the
Yeah, hold
setup
on.
behind you?
What do you want to see?
Your setup behind you. And he's even done some paintings that only show up in UV light and everything as well. It's a class. His wee setup's looking great.
All right, give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Yeah, he's got to put some clothes on.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, and we already figured out that's the reason why Dave is so quiet. Dave is lying on his side, only has one hand, and is naked.
And he's coughing his guts up and trying to argue the vegan.
That's not good.
No,
No.
that's not good.
It's a cold.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It's just a code.
Ah, Cookie Monster. That's fucking excellent.
Yeah, this is a little.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Take a
Are you
cookie.
are you selling that sucker?
This one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How much?
DM me. We'll talk.
Okay. Because that's freaking brilliant. I love it.
I love the
it.
lion in the background. And the flower below it's the UV one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a UV painting. So right there has no detail, but when you shine the UV light on it, let me see, do I have it? Yeah, I still do. There might be too much light.
I love that UV. I've never even heard that was a thing that you could do that.
Yeah, black light. There we go.
Yeah. I used to have black light posters as a kid, but they were
That
usually
just shows
naked.
how old you are, the fact you call it black light.
So that has no detail. But that does. Like, damn, you can't really see. There it goes. It pops out with the UV. There's too much light right now. It needs to be black, dark. I gotta close the shade.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I like to work with glow in the dark fluorescent paint, and you place it properly. It gives you a nice effect. I don't like it in everything. I just like it in certain things. That one in particular has that. So yeah, I'm still working on the back. I do want to put something on the wall in the back, but because of the fumes, I'm taking my time until all this Corona shit's over, so I can open it up and not have to worry about nonsense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want to stay safe, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be putting more stuff on my Teespring. I have a couple of things up, and my computer took a horrible crash. My website is down. Everything went down. Everything just took a shit on me. And because of the coronavirus and lack of work, I haven't put it back up. I haven't invested back into it. But I think I'll do it this week. I think I'll just bite the bullet and put it back up this week. I want to get some more stuff up. I want to revise the website and work on some Teespring stuff.
Yeah, the wee turtle vans you do are brilliant. The Tonka truck sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
the
those are all little. I don't have any down here. The originals are in a gallery right now. Since everything shut down, I can't go pick it up. But I had a nice show at the end of February for Leap Year Day on the 29th. So everything's in the gallery. All that stuff is in the gallery right now.
Yeah, but it's also available to see online because I've been to the site and I've seen it.
Yes. Unfortunately, the site is down. I will have it back up this week. But yeah, you can see all of them there. Everything.
And it's cool stuff, guys. Go check it out when he has it back up for sure.
Very much so. Sal doesn't get enough. Well, he does get enough praise, but he can only give the man more praise.
No, he absolutely does not get enough.
Yeah.
You never get enough.
So, MathPig, give me a shout when Randall shows up. Then I'll drop off so he can join.
Perfect. Well, then just Neil. If Neil sends him the link there, then he hasn't
I'm
popped
happy
up
as well because I've been mostly quiet.
yet. Right. Well, that's what you do.
Yeah. So what's happening with those links, MathPig? You used to post them all the time, and now people have to go and ask for links.
Because when
you got a Twitter group where you don't post. You got a Discord server where you don't post.
Because I had a line of people that had contacted me before that. Plain and simple. Had like 5 people already contacted me, and I didn't want to put the link out public because I was waiting on the other people coming in. You got the last slot.
I see how careful I was mentioning Discord. See how careful I was.
See how popular you are, Neil? Look what you did. You almost broke MathPig.
What'd I do? I fucked MathPig up?
No, just everybody wants to talk to you.
With you.
My evil, insidious plan has worked.
Yes, it has.
I just sent Randolph the link because MathPig's a lazy piece of shit and didn't do it himself.
No, because if I bring it up on screen, it'll come up on screen and actually show on the.
Oh, you see, the truth is, he just showed me his jar of weed that used to be half full 3 days ago, and it's now down to like 4 or 5 nuggets. So this is
fucking done, man. It's all done. That's like a ½ ounce on fucking Tuesday. From Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday it'll be a ½ ounce gone. It's fucking disastrous.
My supplier is very close by, so I'm no problem.
Whenever you're ready, then Peter.
This fucking monster rolled up there afterwards.
Okay, yeah. So I do have a ton of questions, but considering that Neil and I are going to talk anyway,
save it for that
for his show.
In 48 hours, so I can't just that's putting away my content on MathPig's channel. That's I'm not going to do.
Smart arse.
and then he disappears. Okay, there he is.
No,
we're gonna do that. Fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
It was a blast. Catch you in 2 days, Neil.
You bet, Peter.
Thanks for dropping by, Peter.
Bye, Peter.
Okay. Bye.
So Randolph can get his butt in here now. There he is.
So hoping to be
Randolph.
When you'd met Neil before.
Neil, guys.
No, Randolph knows who I am. Yeah, I mean we live fucking 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes away from each other.
Yep. Oh yeah. I gave him a ride to the blood donation last time. How's your sciatica going?
The sciatica is right now non-existent. I'm doing fine. I don't need the cane anymore.
Fantastic.
Even though I kind of want to use it because it's like really stylish. It's got this nice kind of cracked ice blue look to it. It's kind of really
pretty
nice.
cool looking.
And it can be useful as a weapon.
And and I could beat people with it if need be. Get away from me with that coronavirus crap.
Stop skateboarding on my lawn.
Is it the designated 2 meters long? Nobody standing within this circle.
Did you see the guy that's got the hat with the ring on it that's got this gigantic 6-foot circle around him, and he walks around outside and nobody can get anywhere near him because it's like a 6-foot circle? Yeah, it's brilliant.
Huh.
I'm like, I need that. Imagine walking in a Walmart with that.
I'm imagining those 3 warriors from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, with the giant hats. Yeah.
Those
Fucking
characters
love
are
that
awesome.
movie.
Oh, that movie is fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, we used to play it in our minivan when we were taking our kids around. They loved it. You know, it's one of those few movies from the 80s that appeals to kids. That the dialogue is actually good. It's not corny. when you watch
it's
it.
corny in spots.
Yeah,
but
really.
There's some of them you're cringing as you're hearing all this stuff, but that one not at all. It's quite good. It's very funny.
yeah.
I like the part where this guy's carefully trying to open the door, and Kurt Russell's character says, "Oh, F it," and he cuts it open and walks through, and they all follow him.
Or when they're standing in the elevator and they just taken that magic serum, going,
Cool.
I feel pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Like
Hey,
whole
next
psychosomatic response.
Next time a bunch of us are together, we should try to reenact that scene. That'd be hilarious.
Or we could do what me and a friend of mine did way back in the 90s. Went downtown. We had like hard hats on and tool belts and stuff, and we got on the elevator. And we had walkie-talkies, and I go, "Hey, Tim, just going up to the 12th floor to meet you guys up there for lunch. I'm in shaft 2." And he comes back and goes, "Shaft 2? You're in shaft 2? Get out of there. We're working on shaft 2." Everyone in the elevator's freaking out and stuff.
Oh, you're nasty. Oh, boy.
The elevator ones are funny. I know I mentioned it a couple of times. You've seen the Scottish guys in the elevator. 11. Have you never seen that? No?
No.
Voice
Can't see
recognition software in a Scottish elevator.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't
Oh,
understand
I've seen
them.
them. Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
And it doesn't work. 11. Freedom! Yeah, it's really good.
Freedom!
There it is.
Another one we used to do, we'd stand on the street corner looking up like this at the sky. And of course, you do that long enough, people eventually are going to stop and go. And when there's finally a whole group of people going, "What the fuck is he looking at?" That's when you go, "Oh, there it is. Oh, fuck, that's better." And like your neck was kinked or something, and then you just walk on and they all go, "Oh, shit." And they just walk away. Mama Atheist is paying no attention to us whatsoever.
I am too. I'm trying to keep up with the chat because I don't like it when people feel left out. That's all.
Aww.
But here,
Well,
don't.
I meant to kick you. 'Cause
it's the rotation.
I do it if at the end of the day, everybody ends up getting kicked.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm used to it.
I can't share screen at the minute, man, because I have it set up for right screen share instead of left screen share, so that I can't show Randolph, unfortunately, at the minute. Although it looks very funny about an elevator. There's somebody eating a lot of donuts. Homer Simpson's eating a lot of donuts.
Yeah, someone painted an escalator. Yeah.
I tried to do it earlier whenever Neil took his hair off and make him solo screen, and all it showed was
He
my
took his
OBS.
hair off? Really? What the fuck is that about? It's a wig, Neil?
Fucking smart ass
This is-
bitch.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not a wig. It's real. You saw me take the bandana off.
I know. I was giving him shit, not you,
Oh, okay.
for misspeaking. That's all. Sorry.
I guess 302 Atheist is not in area code 302 after all.
No, he was just doing it like half of 604, which I didn't even realize at first. It didn't clue in.
No, I didn't either. Yeah.
Because apparently I can't math, so.
All of our brains are melting from being at home doing nothing anyway. So
Yeah.
Alcohol-induced memory loss.
yeah, weed for me, but yeah,
This isn't nothing. This is something.
fine.
This is what we can buy weed legally here in Canada, and it comes in containers like this, like big ass joints, right? So,
Yeah,
and they've even got the little thing there, and they've got the Surgeon General warnings, and they've got little scan bars and shit. And now a buddy of mine,
Totally
who-
legal.
yeah, it's all legal, and they come in kind of cool containers like this one or this one. And a buddy of mine is opening up a cannabis shop here in Queensboro. Same guy that owns the pub that I go to all the time. So.
Yeah.
wow. It's not legal here in Georgia, so it's barely legal medicinally here in Georgia. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, United States ain't legal. It's barely legal in California.
But the
It's-
South is the worst. I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah, none of the southern states has it legal recreationally and medicinally. I think there's like 2 dispensaries in all of fucking Georgia. So it's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah, they make it hard. They make it really hard. I used to
They
be.
really do.
They make it really hard.
But whatever.
It's not legal here whatsoever. You go talk to John. Hi, John.
There you go. You're always somebody.
I don't know. I don't know why it's not legal globally, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, There's reasons.
Because of the U.S., the DEA. That's why.
It ended up in the DEA's lap, but it started off with lumber. It all had to do with lumber and putting lumber out of business, and then from there.
The hemp. Yeah, hemp. Well.
Well, the hemp industry, yeah, which would have threatened the clothing industry, would have threatened the wood industry, would have threatened the
military.
Industry.
Yeah,
military.
That's another reason why they called it marijuana. Seen reports that people who used to, would grow hemp went and voted against marijuana, and then shit, you just voted your own business out. Didn't realize, the whole idea of calling it marijuana was to make a difference from hemp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last dance with Mary Jane.
One more time
to kill the pain.
It's one of the best music videos. It's so fucked up, but it's awesome. I love that music video.
Yeah. Definitely an artist we'll miss, for sure.
Yeah.
Tom Petty was great. Like, I remember when the first album that I ever listened to came out was the one with Refugee on it, and fucking played that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Tom Petty was awesome.
Yeah.
I want to get the guys to do a cover of that tune, Refugee. I think it'd be kind of cool to do that.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a good one to do.
How is your band going?
Right now we're on a hiatus because clearly, our bass player works in the old folks' homes in North Vancouver. Yeah. And how there's the thing going through them right now. So we're kind of... he's apparently okay, and it hasn't hit his home in particular, but they're very concerned. So we've kind of... Like, I may go in tomorrow with my buddy Chris, who is the guitar player that we have right now, and do some writing or something. Like, him and I... someone's echoing. Big time.
Where's that coming from?
Probably Randolph. Because it
was me. I hit refresh on the YouTube. Pardon.
Oh, okay.
I always hit mute whenever anybody talks about echoing. I don't know if it's me. It usually isn't, but I just try to be helpful.
Anyway, so we last week or 2 weeks ago, sorry, we didn't get together last week because this is when all this thing sort of started happening around here, and him and I ended up coming up with some bass ideas for 3 new songs. So there's some more material coming up. So. And it's pretty cool. I love writing music because, especially if it's something like, this actually sounds pretty fucking groovy. Like, it's got a really good feel to it. So, and the people that I've worked with, we seem to be really good at coming up with stuff that's catchy and hooky. So, you've been to our jams, so you're the one that can tell people that what you think of our shit, right? So.
Well, you guys are better than you think you are, is what I tell people, because it's true. No, seriously, you guys really are awesome. You have a great sound. You're doing good things, and you take feedback when I give it to you on where I think you can improve, and you try to make it work. It's pretty awesome. I think you're on the right track.
Well, we're always look for criticism because people that don't accept criticism don't grow as a musician. Right. So I want to grow. So any constructive criticism is always welcome for me. Yeah. That's why I posted my buddy Mikey's got what am I listening to page on Facebook, and I dumped our Facebook link there with Failing Gracefully being the choice because that seems to be the most popular one. That one and Dollhouse. So I dropped that one there, and I haven't gone in to see any replies yet, but my phone has been telling me that we've been getting more fans on SoundCloud, so that tells me already that some people are liking it. So,
what is your SoundCloud, Neil? Remind everyone again. I haven't got it I couldn't find it on my I don't use SoundCloud.
Oh well,
lifeblood.org. It links to SoundCloud there.
Yeah, go to the lifeblood.org page.
You better spell it for him.
Yeah, hang on. I'll put it in here right now. It's HTTPS, correct?
Yep. Well, if you don't put the S, it'll add it automatically. Yeah. I just typed it in the private chat.
Okay, no, I know. I'm typing it in.
Life.
What, Dave?
If you people can't spell life.
I spelt it that way. Oh, it says I can't put web addresses. That's right, because I don't have a fucking wrench. That's why.
I've got it.
Hey, MathPig, you should put us both in, because I can get rid of some crap for you if I ever see it.
There you go. Dave's
already dumped the SoundCloud link in.
Cool.
And I've dumped the
It's good
lifeblood
like
in.
that.
Fantastic. That's
the lifeblood will take it.
blud.org to make it memorable.
To let a little secret out here, one of the first songs that comes up to listen to is "Taste My Sin," and that one. That one is a song I wrote because I had a friend who was addicted to meth, and I wrote it from the perspective of the drug to the user, as if it was in a relationship with the user. Wow. So it's kind of an interesting take, and it's Aaron Raw's favorite song, by the way, of our stuff.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
But Failing Gracefully is there. You know what? They're all kind of catchy. I like them all, really, myself. There's some that we have written in the past that I would much rather not sing anymore, but most of the ones that I put into SoundCloud is stuff that I don't mind doing. So.
Yeah, there's one I liked. I forgot what it's called, but it was...
Of our new stuff, though, correct?
Well, I haven't been to your sessions for a little while. I want to get back out to them soon.
No, but you liked Promise and... Let It Go, I think. And no, not the one from Frozen.
Oh.
No, not the one from Frozen.
It's about letting go of religious beliefs and stuff. So
I've never
do
seen
the one from Frozen.
no, I don't do the one from Frozen, and no, don't ask me to do it because I'll have to say no. Bottom line. I made it about 15 minutes through that movie and I was like, nope, done.
I have kids. They like it.
I know they do, yeah.
I'm sorry, I like it. I enjoy that sort of building.
All right, my youngest got up in front of a group of about 100 kids and parents, and sung that Frozen theme song, and she sung it very well. My kids have
That's
talent.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they both have talent. They can sing well. They can play instruments, and they play lots of different instruments. And the challenge is getting enough instruments for them to play, enough variety. Right now, the youngest one's studying trumpet.
Oh, I did trumpet.
Sorry, not trumpet, trombone. She's doing the trombone. Yeah.
That's a tougher instrument to master, actually.
She's doing quite well at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just naturally picked it up. Like the older ones, you can pick up an instrument and figure it out and start playing it pretty quickly. They're able to do that quite naturally. It's quite a nice thing. So.
Yeah, my drummer Colin's kind of a savant in that respect, where he picks up an instrument, he'll figure it out in a few minutes.
Oh wow, yeah. My kids aren't savants.
That's great.
They have to work at it, but they figure it out and they get it going.
Well, we were talking about, there's one of these songs, the original version of Taste My Sin before it became the version we know now. We were thinking of adding some violin type overtones to it, and he's like, well, you know what? I think my grandma has a violin, and he'd never played violin before. And he went digging, disappeared for about 10 minutes. And I'm in there eating my chocolate bar, waiting for him to come back. And he comes back and goes, hey, I found it. My grandma's violin. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, you don't know how to play violin. He goes, yeah, I know. Just give me a second. So he pulls the fucking violin out, and he's tuning it a little bit. And he starts doing this. And I'm going, dude, those little Asian kids with strict parents that are forcing their kids to learn violin right now hate you. So,
Wow.
Because he picks it up and he plays it like right away, like he's been playing it his whole life. And I actually was referring to my neighbor's kid who has been playing violin for a long time because her parents wanted her to learn how to play violin, so she'd be a big orchestra type violinist at some point. I said all those kids that are forced to learn the violin are hating you right now because you can pick it up and play like an expert in like 2 minutes, and they've spent their entire childhood being forced to learn.
That's and for the parents' viewpoint, that's one of those instruments that while you're first learning is horrible to hear. Like I played the clarinet for 9 years, and it's already not the greatest sounding instrument on its own, and I must have driven my parents fucking mad like when I first started learning that. So.
I played the trumpet for a while, and my mother would make me go to the tree house at the bottom of the garden to practice in. Not allowed to do that shit in the house.
When I was a kid, I taught myself piano, and then at school, I had to learn recorder. Recorder seemed like a real step down.
Oh my god, yeah, the recorder. We had to do that too.
Oh,
in
everybody
school.
has to learn the recorder.
recorder is a legitimate instrument because they featured it on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I don't give a fuck. It's not legitimate.
Recorder
No
is
to recorders. No to the recorders.
Oh. In the town I grew up in, because I lived there when Angel was little too. We all learned the recorder in, I think, the 3rd or the 4th grade, the year before we go into regular band. So I remember doing it myself, but then I remember Angel doing it and wanting to fucking break it against something and like never hear it again. So it is awful.
Wonderful.
Wait,
Everybody had
Like
to learn the
that
recorder
really
over
tiny
here. It is a hated instrument. Fuck the recorder.
Recorder was all right.
Do you want me to kick
fuck
you
the
too?
recorder.
Fucking recorders. No, hated the recorder, and I only did the trumpet for a year and a bit to get out of history class because I hated the teacher. Fucking couldn't stand
MathPig.
her.
You should make sure you put recorder in the YouTube description just so keyword searchers will pick up.
You all right?
And people come looking for skills, and all they get is me going, "Fuck you, recorder."
Well, don't worry, brother. I had to learn the trumpet too in grade 7 or 8 or something. I was learning the trumpet, and of course, I'm learning all these classical songs. And on the side, I'm learning how to play the Star Wars theme song.
Oh, yes!
So I was like, in my
Yeah.
mind, like,
My
this
youngest
is what we paid for.
trombone.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nine.
But
My youngest
you
has been
said,
figuring
do
out
not
Star Wars
mention
music
Luke.
with the trombone. So we've been hearing a lot of that.
Cool.
What did you say, Robbie? Or Pig? I'm sorry.
It said, "Don't mention Luke."
Everyone knows his name.
Okay. Yeah, let's not talk about Luke. I don't want to talk about Luke right now. Yes.
You sure?
No. Been through enough. I'm good.
It's fine.
You're more a
I
Star
wonder-
Wars fan than Star Trek, Neil.
Yeah.
Me? No, I don't pick and choose one over the other. I like them all. I don't say, this one's superior to that one. They all have their different stuff behind them, right? Like they all have their different mythologies. They all have and I like them all, and I take them all for what they are.
And the Orville.
Oh, the Orville's great.
Isn't
That's
it?
fucking great.
I like Star Trek for the philosophical aspects. I like Star Wars for the action aspects, and I like the Orville for the comedy aspect. I think Orville rushes through the philosophy a bit too quickly, but I still think they're great.
Yeah, but their show isn't about philosophy. It's about. I mean, they do tackle. I mean, look at the planet they went to that, based everything off astrology type stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they do get into philosophical stuff, but
There are specific undertones in the Orville that are anti-religious in pretty much every episode.
that's because Seth Anders is a staunch atheist.
Or
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. I know that's what you're.
We already knew that about Seth Anders.
Yeah. Seth Anders probably doesn't mind the mix-up there.
yeah. Since everyone's named Seth these days, Seth Rogen, Seth Anders, Seth.
As
That's
long
a
as
good
it's not
name.
Seth, everything's good.
Yeah.
And saying that, I like the name Seth, and I had that in my head as something I would name a son because it's a cool name, and I grew up watching Stargate SG-1 and Seth with the whole
another good
Bible
show.
thing as well. I liked it.
The Ori.
The fucking Ori were shit. There were,
But they were the religious ones. They were like the religious ones.
I know, but it really just it died. I know it died off. Oh no, I felt so sad about the end of it because the Goa'uld were really good, and then the Replicators were a fantastic enemy. I thought the Replicators were a really good enemy, but the Ori were just sort of dragged out a wee bit at the end because they replaced Jack O'Neill as well. You know, the fact that they changed him.
Yeah, I know. I liked Atlantis too. Stargate Atlantis. I thought that was cool.
Atlantis was good. It was a good action show, more so than an actual story one. My favorite I love Stargate SG-1, but as a standalone.
Me too.
Stargate Universe. Well, I was so annoyed when they cancelled Stargate Universe.
Yeah, I really dug that.
That was a fantastic show. It had so much potential.
SGU should have gone on longer, but I didn't get the fan base. So.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody typed in Firefly. Absolutely, and that was a great show, and it took me forever to get to it, but after watching. It's funny because I watched Serendipity first, and then I went back and watched the entire series. And
It's a shame them getting rid of it. That was such a great show. And
oh yeah,
I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan, so yeah.
Hey, is
Never
David
seen
asleep?
Firefly. I've watched the movie a ton of
oh
times.
watch it, dude.
But I've never
Watch it.
watched
It's great.
I'm not
Dave,
familiar
are
with
you
Firefly.
asleep? No, no, he's not.
There you go. My story.
Did you?
Fuck, I even like the old cheesy ass Disney movie, The Black Hole, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, come on, that's badass. I'm a fan of that one.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
couple of people
absolutely,
have
yeah.
mentioned that quite recently in streams and talking, and I have not seen it. Now I've
No,
watched.
I
I've recently
even had
watched
the
trailer.
figures, like Bob and
Yeah.
Vincent and Maximilian, and I had all the figures and stuff. And
It's a
apparently they're worth a fucking fortune now because
Yeah.
nobody had them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell. My mom or dad gave them away at one of the times they moved while I was over in
What a
Israel.
tragedy that was.
Yeah.
But parents don't always know.
That's all right.
I have a bunch of original Star Wars action figures, but
Me too.
they're all open, so
That's
so
fine.
It doesn't matter.
Angel has them. Yeah.
They're still
If
worth a
they're
lot
in
of
good
money.
condition, they're still quite valuable to people.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
box is definitely better.
Yeah.
Like I had the original editions of the Jawas that came out before they used the cloth capes. They had
Yeah.
the plastic ones,
Yeah.
and I had like 4 or 5 of them, and they're worth like unboxed. They're worth a couple $100 each,
Yes, they are.
as long as they have the blaster with them too.
Even
which
without
I
it.
did too.
Even
Yeah.
without they have their like any of those vintage stores. The number one reason that they're worth so much money is because there's no more casting molds for them, so they're one of a kind.
Right.
Whatever was made, that's it. So that's the value that gives them anything.
And I still have somewhere around here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the clone troopers from the prequels. They don't make those anymore because Angel had wanted some for Christmas last year. And I looked them up and they're like $60 now. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I had the
don't-
original Boba Fett that you could get by mailing in box tops. Or
Wow.
I had my mom actually sent it back, but I had the one that was taking kids out because the rocket used to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that one.
Kids out.
Well, it's hitting in their eyes and shit, and mom's complaining.
Yeah.
right? So.
Yeah.
Projectiles are a bad idea.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. I mean, I used to have. You guys remember Micronauts?
Yeah.
Used to have the Micronaut.
Hey, that fantastic.
Fucking the ships themselves. You could take the wings off, and they were guns, and they
Yeah.
they were the soft rubber ends.
Yeah, they had
on
the
them,
suction.
so-
They had the suction at the end.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I love those.
No,
There's so
Merc
many cool things. They just don't make them anymore.
didn't get any
No.
of that. I grew up with the Centurions. Do you remember the Centurions and
I remember Centurions. Yeah,
yeah, Army soldiers? And I used to collect the Kellogg's Frosties. Used to do all their different characters as wrestlers, and I have all of them still. Like I have a box of them still in the house. Like
I bet you those are worth some money now, dude.
Yeah.
I bet you.
I have
Probably.
I have an original Bad album by Michael Jackson. My mother bought me when I was growing up, and she fucking
That could
signed
be
it in
worth a lot.
biro, "Happy Birthday," and then put my fucking birthday in blue biro in the top corner of the actual record cover. It's like, why did you do that? Why did you write on the record cover?
I used to live in a basement apartment, and I used to have crates of vinyl, and we got flooded once, and I lost.
Oh,
I had original Bauhaus albums, like
oh, dude, what?
yes, original with the pictures. Yeah. Man. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you. I lost all my stuff.
The pain.
The pain. I remember I came home, I freaked out. I literally freaked out. I didn't pay rent. I was upset.
I bet. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great back in the day.
Tell me about it. And I had like the classic one from 79 to 81, like the greatest hits. Yeah. It hurt.
Stuff with like Bela Lugosi is dead on it, and
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
All of that.
Fuck, I have I used to working in the record store was kind of cool because we got all these really cool special edition stuff that came in, and I still have a little black container for the original Batman movie. The soundtrack came in a little black tin with the Bat logo on it.
Wow.
And I still have that. It's of course the Prince soundtrack, basically.
All right.
Buried in here somewhere, but I haven't looked it up, but I'll check it out. It's probably worth a few bucks by now because they only released something like 500 of those. So
I still have my original 1980s Lego up in the attic. I have it in a shoebox. Proper original Lego. It's very. I don't
too.
have much of it, but
Be right back.
Yeah, no, that's
Me
for
too.
Elena when she's old enough not to swallow them. That's
And I didn't know this, but I ended up keeping. I got it when the concert was here, Lollapalooza '92, when they had Soundgarden and Pearl Jam involved.
Oh,
And the paper one with the red and black writing on it, because working at the record store, we got that kind of stuff. And I have it rolled up somewhere in here somewhere. And apparently it's worth a couple $100 fucking now because they're
Wow.
rare. Right?
I always wanted to go to Lollapalooza. I'm so jealous. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was at the very first one that had Body Count with Ice-T.
Wow.
In the Gorge, Washington. I went down there to see it there, and they had, of course, Jade's Addiction, of course, because that's when it all started, thanks to Perry Farrell, whose last name is Bernstein in real life, and it's possible we could be related. So that'd be kind of cool. But so Jane, and I love Jane's Addiction still to this day. I think they're fantastic, and they had Ice-T with Body Count. They had Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor. They had, of course, Jane's Addiction and some other bands. And then '92 came along and they did Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Ice Cube, Jesus and Mary Chain. And then '93 came along with the Smashing Pumpkins and Alice in Chains. And so, yeah. And they used to have them at Thunderbird Stadium here and so I go to there. And in '92, my buddy Todd thought it'd be a good idea to bring a duffel bag with him with some fruit and stuff that we could eat. Except we're out in the fucking mosh pit and it was raining, so they put planks of wood down on there, which ended up being lifted up and people were surfing on top of the planks of wood.
Wow.
And of course he's holding the duffel bag in the mosh pit like this, and eventually the fruit starts falling out, and we had the fruit salad mosh, which was great.
That's awesome. I've had some good times in a mosh pit. I've got hurt in a mosh pit. I've got seriously hurt in a mosh pit. But
Who hasn't gotten hurt in a mosh pit? Come the fuck on.
no, you gotta see the pussies. Be careful.
What?
Yeah.
the first
I'm
time.
6'4.5" though.
Oh, exactly.
Whenever I
There you
said
go,
to you earlier,
man.
Neil, about going to Audio Slave,
Nice.
they had Audio Slave indoors,
Nice,
and the pit area was sealed off with 4 baths full of water at the very back of the pit. So everybody was just going buck mad and then running up and dipping their heads in the bucket of the bath of water,
Oh, yeah.
running back in again to the middle of the pit.
Yeah, we used to clear the circle in the center of the mosh pit
Yeah.
and have a bunch of guys going at it.
That happened at Slipknot, and 4 wee poor tiny girls got stuck in the middle of that and didn't realize it was being created around them, and everybody's running around them and they're just standing there going, how the fuck do we get out of this?
I got an easy way. The same year with the fruit salad mosh, some little dude who's probably about half my size comes up to me and goes, dude, lift me up. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I want to go up. I'm like, okie dokie. And I put my hands out like this, puts his hand on my shoulder, and I just went, ugh! And I never saw him again. He just fucking disappeared into the crowd.
Never saw him again. I launched his ass into the atmosphere. He's gone.
Pretty much. He's in orbit right now. He should be coming back down about 2024.
That's awesome.
We met up at one Metallica concert with a group of guys that had bought their weed from some Rastafarians in Cork, and instantly we're all buddies, and we'd get down to the very last joint and I was smoking it, and all of a sudden there's this tap on the shoulder and there's the bouncer. Here, none of that. And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. So I give it to the bouncer and turn to the boys, and I'm like, sorry boys, that fucker, not allowed it here and all. And they just went, turn around. And I turned around and the man's just walking away, looking at me, smoking it, going, fuck you. And I said, you bastard, abusing your power.
If it makes you feel any better, I would have done that too.
Yeah, if you had to, so would all of us, man. So would every fucking one of us. Free weed. AC/DC was probably one of my favourite. Now, I was like 3 or 4 people from the front of a pit with AC/DC, and it was amazing night. Absolutely amazing.
I still have, you remember when AC/DC used to drop the AC/DC bucks out of the big bell when they played Money? I still have about 3 or 4 of those that were never used, that were given to me backstage by some of the guys who ran the t-shirt booth, right? They ended up with a stack of these things, so they were given like half a dozen each to some of the fans that were backstage, and I ended up with about 4 of them. So I have them here.
Peter,
never used. They feel like money too, which is just crazy.
Peter, that was here earlier, had a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with Angus Young in his kitchen. He was on a holiday round the corner or wherever it was, close to where his holiday home was, took a chance and went up and knocked the door and answered the door and went in and had a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with him in the kitchen. Like,
That's fucking awesome.
isn't that fucking lovely?
When I worked at Sam the Record Man in Richmond Center, this guy comes into my store and he's got long, greasy, like blonde hair and like a button-up shirt and ripped jeans, and he's digging through the bargain basement cassette tapes because they still had them then, and he's looking for stuff. And then he comes up to the counter and he's got Ry Cooder's side project called The Archangels, which is a fucking phenomenal album if you haven't heard it. I highly recommend it if you like the blues rock kind of stuff. So he buys Archangels, and then he buys Stevie Nicks' Greatest Hits. And I'm like, kind of an odd combo, but okay. And then he plops down this platinum fucking Visa or American Express or whatever the fuck it was. And it says Zachary Philip Wilde. And I'm looking at this going, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're Ozzy's guitar player. He goes, yeah. What the fuck are you doing here? And he goes, oh, we're recording a few tunes at this studio here in Richmond. And I go, is Ozzy with you? He goes, yeah, he's just over at that muffin place. I'm like, Steve, ring this through. I'm going to the muffin place. And I went and had muffins and a quick cup of coffee with Ozzy Osbourne, which was great.
Great.
Wow, that is.
Yeah.
Is he spaced out, or is it just a persona?
What's that?
Is he really spaced out, or is it just a persona?
Okay, this was 91. So
okay.
This is long before he started the slurring, but he was getting on to that point at that point. But he's just telling us some great backstage stories.
Okay.
It was myself and another friend of mine that happened to be shopping in the store at the time. We just went over there and shook hands with them. And we talked to him for about 10 minutes. And then I only had a 15-minute break. So went over there, grabbed a muffin, sat with them for a couple minutes, and then went back to the store. So, yeah, that was kind of cool.
Cool.
And then a week later, my buddy's girlfriend's mom at the time was running. I know it sounds like an anecdote story, but I got no reason to bullshit about this because it could be easily found out, right? So she runs a laser printing store, and somebody was in there getting printing done for his hockey team of the juniors, little kids. And I went in there and I'm talking, and the guy comes in and does his order and he takes off. And I'm like, why did that guy look really familiar? Oh, she goes, oh, that was Bobby Orr. I'm like, what? I had a chance to meet Bobby fucking Orr? Yeah, he went in there to do some prints up of the picture he took with the team of kids for T-shirts. And I'm like, fuck. So when she this is back when we had pagers. So she paged me when he came back to pick up the order, and I got to shake Bobby Orr's hand. So that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
He's like the best defenseman ever to play the game. Ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He had the scoring lead as a defenseman for 2 years when he played.
No
I'm
idea.
not a big sports fan, but hockey I do love.
Really?
Hockey's, yeah, because they fight.
Right.
Yeah,
Really
exactly. It's fucking awesome. We used to have the Whalers in Connecticut. That was the only
Hartford
special
Whalers,
sport
yeah.
we had. But they fucking left, and we used to go. I mean, we would go like 6 or 7 times a season. I fucking loved it. But then they became the Hurricanes and moved to North Carolina. So
Carolina,
yeah.
But hey, at least they won a cup as the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't as the Whalers. So, and
Still
nobody
the
remembers the Whalers anymore.
I do.
Well, yes,
I even remember the
and
logo.
I appreciate that.
The whale tail with the W.
Mm-hmm. Loved them.
This is the last one I got in my cooler, you guys. This is not a good thing. I might have to visit the fridge and grab some more.
Don't go outside.
Because I don't have to work for 14 hours, I think, or something like that. Or
You're
fine.
still working.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. What I do, the company I work for is considered a critical, or not critical, what do you call it? Essential service. So, I mean, we have garbage trucks and we have fuel trucks and stuff like that. So they need to be on the road. And of course, I'm the guy that tests all the antifreeze before it gets sold. And I make it myself too. So I have to be there to do this stuff. Because trucks have to keep rolling.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about. The whole transport industry will be the last one to close down. If it gets to that point, it will have to be the last one that closes down.
Yeah. So, but they are talking on every day at 1 o'clock, which is at the end of my shift and the start of the afternoon shift. They have what we call a toolbox meeting where they talk about health and safety issues. They talk about operational issues.
Yeah, we have them too. Toolbox talks.
They are talking now about temporary layoffs for some of the positions where we are, because there's not a lot of garages that are getting customers these days. So we go and pick up waste oil and waste antifreeze. So they are talking about maybe putting that on a hold for a bit until that's necessary again, because nobody's going to the shops to get their cars fixed right now.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
that end of our business is falling down. But what I do is necessary. So I'm not going to be getting laid off at all. So I'm pretty secure. And they're very good they got a person that runs around our shop every single day with sanitizers and wiping stuff and cleaning doorknobs all day. And the hand machine that we put our hand on to so that it registers when we start and finish work, a time clock kind of thing. And they're wiping that down constantly. They hold a spray bottle right there. You spray it, right? You let it sit there for a couple minutes. You wipe it off, and then you do your scan. And then you spray it again for the next person. They wait, So we're taking full-on precautions. And when we have our meetings, everyone's 6 feet apart. And so we're doing what we can, but we need to be there. We're an essential service. So.
Hey, have you guys heard anything about them shutting down the postal service? Is that happening, or they're just contemplating it?
I haven't heard that they're going to do that, but I've heard that they may change how it happens.
Okay.
I can't imagine they would shut it down. It seems critical. I imagine they would
Essential
reduce
service.
it.
Okay. Yeah. They just. I heard it on the news here in Los Angeles. They were contemplating shutting a few offices down, and I just wanted to hear if it was anywhere else.
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
Some of the private couriers have shut down, like UPS is completely shut down, but FedEx and Purolator are still going. And Purolator is part of Canada Post, which is our national postal service.
Okay.
Well, they have a new way of doing it, though. They'll phone you when they get there. They leave the parcel, and then you come and get it. Right? They'll leave it. They'll wait at a distance till you come and get it, and then they don't even require you to sign for signed stuff right now either.
Yeah.
They're writing that off.
I'll take a photograph. I'll have to put it inside the property. Well, some of them anyway. Inside the property. So I open the front door and step back. They put it on the floor inside the property and take a photograph of it and then leave.
Exactly. Yeah. So that they know that it was delivered to the right person. I got to pee though, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Randolph, for everyone, like Mama and Critical and Sal are always here, so everybody's sick of looking at them. You're not here that often. For anyone who doesn't know, do you want to let the people who you... She's gone!
You said everyone's sick of looking at me, so it's fine.
We're not sick of looking at you.
So there's Randolph.
I'm the only girl here.
What do you
the only
do,
girl.
Randolph?
Sorry?
What do you do, Randolph?
I'm the founding president of the Canadian Atheists. We advocate for freedom and charter rights and whatnot, and we're on a bit of a we have a kind of a mandate to end the stigma of atheism in Canada. There are some people who still vilify atheism, just vilify atheists just for not believing in deities, and so we're taking an opposite approach of pointing out that atheism is normal because not believing in things is normal. Our intention is to normalize atheism.
Yeah, we're not... I was going to say we're not all bad people.
Well, I mean,
Well, there's some are. Craig Hicks comes to mind.
Pardon?
But the thing is, when people talk about they have some expectation that atheists, we should be policing our own. Well, the thing is, as humans, we already do this. And if there's some kind of an expectation that all atheists have the same kind of moral code, that's wrong, because that's not what atheism is. Atheism is simply just not believing in deities, and to add that other stuff to it is actually it's a non sequitur. It's something completely different. So there's certain morals that I have as a Canadian, because here in Canada we don't have capital punishment, for instance, and there's other things that are defined in our laws and whatnot, which I think most Canadians agree on. But to say all atheists, to say that all atheists agree on the same kind of moral standards is simply not a fact. It's a non sequitur, and so
opposite of the fact.
yeah, because it's very often religious people will say, "Oh, there's all this standard of what's moral and ethical, and so all Christians follow the same standard." In fact, they don't, but because there's so many different denominations. But nonetheless, it's kind of a psychological projection for these theists to come along and say atheists should be doing the same. No, we're not conforming to what you think we should conform to. We're all pretty. I would say that atheism is probably the most, among the most, if not the most, diverse demographic in the world.
Yeah, if you put everybody under that umbrella, then it covers a wide range. And I would also put out there that one of the friendlier, more accepting.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it makes it more. It's harder, as you say, for them to put us under an umbrella and say that all atheists are the same. Most Christians under a certain denomination are the same. That does not work on the atheist side.
Yeah.
It's not, that doesn't even work that well on the Christian side, to be quite honest.
Exactly.
Christians think that everyone that their denomination believe what they believe.
Yeah, and how many denominations are there?
No, what I mean is even within a denomination, an individual thinks that whatever they believe is what the rest of their denomination believes.
Yes.
When
yes,
you
very
get
much.
polls on it over and over again, they clearly don't.
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome, and I just wish we had something like that here. I'm not gonna say it's worse here, but it's totally worse here. Like in America, it's,
You're in the USA, right?
yeah, and I'm in the South in the USA.
Well, you've got the American atheist. You've got the American atheists who are advocating for atheists there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm just saying, it's.
I know they have different
Rough
goals
here.
than we do. They have similar same goals and different goals, and to be fair, it is a different country that has different challenges too. So,
Yeah.
I would recommend definitely getting in touch with them if they probably have some chapter in your area. It wouldn't surprise me.
But
Okay.
America has separation of church and state. Why would it be necessary?
Yeah. It's working out fucking gangbusters for us too. You know, with
We have some challenges with that here too. There are people in politics, particularly and the name sounds like an oxymoron. They call themselves the Progressive Conservative Party.
Okay.
It's yeah, and they very much like the idea of outlawing abortion, which, in my view, relegates all pregnant people into slaves just because of a health condition, and that's a violation of our freedoms. And I don't stand for it. I won't accept that. I think anybody who
Right
puts
there with you.
somebody who puts that in is being unethical. They're being immoral.
Well, since Trump has been in office, he has just loaded all the federal courts with super right-wing judges, and a lot of states have passed abortion. Like he actually wants to get rid of Roe vs. Wade, and there are states like they have the heartbeat bills now, and my state was one of the first.
Ludicrous.
Alabama too.
It's and a lot of women don't even know they're pregnant before 6 weeks. So but the issue here isn't just the rights too, but you have when abortions are illegal. First of all, more people get abortions. You look at the stats, and it's true. But also, you have a lot of people dying because they're getting illegal abortions. People are going to get abortions whether you make it legal or not. But you make it so much worse when you take away that right, and it's fucking
Because
bullshit.
it's a health condition. And Bernie Sanders just the other day wrote on Twitter that abortion is a healthcare service.
It is.
Yep.
It is. And then they go after Planned Parenthood too, which is, it's a women's health clinic. Less than 3% of what Planned Parenthood does is abortions. But that's what a lot of other right-wing conservatives say. They're like, oh, it's Planned Parenthood, let's shut them all down. Well, you're talking about taking away essential services for women that are, trying to have babies or whatever. So
Well, my understanding is Planned Parenthood is actually helping the whole families too, not just women.
yeah.
So they're providing quite a wide variety of services, as you pointed out just now. Yeah.
It's
Important.
it's so gross.
It's
Now,
only
my understanding about the judge appointments is that it's not Trump doing it; it's Mike, who's been working on this in the shadow from the spotlight that Donald Trump is hogging. And I think Mike Pence doesn't mind. He's happy to have Donald Trump take all the attention, so he can work behind the scenes and not be noticed.
Yeah, and I see that. I know that Pence is behind a lot of it, but also because so much of Trump's base are the fucking crazy, super right-wing nut jobs. He plays up to that big time. I guarantee you that man has paid for more abortions than you can count. So fuck that guy.
All day. He doesn't care, man. He does not give a shit. He does not care. There's nothing that will ever convince me that he cares about anything other than himself. And
oh no, of course not.
so he doesn't care what they do. He doesn't care what laws, as long as they just kind of protect them, basically.
Well, this is why he fucked up the corona thing so bad, because he knew he had to play it down, because if he does anything about it, businesses shut down and he's losing money. I mean, he's lost money hand over fist. And fucking Kushner, his son-in-law, his company, one of his companies shut down.
I know personally out in New York, okay? Like he liked to be in the scene. He liked to be in the clubs. The man has no money. He has no credentials. He has no backing. He gets by on a con. Okay, and that's coming from. Look, I have people who have interacted with him in the past. He was a very popular face in the social scene of New York. He liked to show his face. He's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I have stories. Like I could go into it, but this is not.
We can talk about it sometime. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, no worries. We'll get into an interview. We can talk all about dickhead.
This Rosal sounds like he's in the mafia again.
Don't say that.
Shit, sorry, no, not in the mafia. Not in the mafia.
Not in the mafia. I am in the mob. I am the mob, not the mafia.
Sorry, Neil.
No,
that's
a reference from Caesar, the mob rule. So he was smart enough to understand that the mob of people will control things, and not him.
I thought that was a Sabbath album.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Mob rules.
Don't talk about it.
I have to take off, you guys, because I did promise. I promised my friend Bible Belt Atheist I'd at least pop into his chat for his birthday for a little bit.
No, I appreciate.
I was there earlier.
I really appreciate you being here during that. And
well, thanks for having me, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Pleasure, Neil.
It was a lot of fun. Man. A lot of fun.
Neil. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon.
On that, then we'll probably end it now as well. We've been going for a wee while. Dave, do you want to say something there?
No, I was just saying bye to Neil as well.
See you, Dave.
Okay, everybody, thanks very much for coming anyway, and we'll be back tomorrow with Mama Atheist. We have and we've got Aaron Rand next Sunday, so
cool.
Should be some good fun happening.
If you do an after party for that, let me know. I'll be definitely jump in for that.
Yeah, it'll be the same. It'll be
That's gonna be a Ferris wheel.
Tomorrow I do my show too, so.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding.
I noticed that Aaron managed to turn up in your after party last night.
Yes, he did. Well, because he's friends with Jim, so I sent him. I said, I got Jim on tonight. You can pop in if you want to the after party. He goes, I don't know. I'm going to be pretty busy today. And so I'll tell you what. I'll drop a link here, and if you can jump in for 5-10 minutes or whatever. It's like, all right, on. So thank you, sir. And then he ended up doing it. He was able to jump in for about a half an hour, so that was pretty cool.
That's great.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I've followed the man for 12 years, so it's sort of a big thing for me. Like, so anyway, everybody, I'll fangirl next Sunday. We will see you all tomorrow for Mama Atheist. And Dave, are you doing your stream tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we've got critical questions tomorrow, stupid questions, and even stupider answers. Everybody, thanks very much for coming.
All right.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, he left.